Welcome to Wacky Talkies.
Well,
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so today we're going to do it through Hangouts this time because I am in San Antonio right now.
because Nate is on a spiritual quest. He's finding Jesus,
hmm
apparently, you guys can
He's
see.
right here. He's behind me.
Do all the superhero horse shit by ourselves, so I asked earnestly my sister to commentate on the best superhero movies never made.
I'm getting paid at Whataburger, so okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off. Like, what did we do this weekend? What are we doing? What did we do?
Man, okay, I don't know. Who wants to go first? Let's let the guest go first. You go.
What documentary did you see last night that Mother was
I
raving about?
okay, so I went with my mom to see this thing called The River and the Wall, but on last Saturday, I took the entire family to see Endgame.
I saw it a second time with her.
Yeah, and we went and we saw it in the Dolby Cinema rather
Great
than
sound.
IMAX.
Great fine.
Oh yeah, I saw it in Dolby too. It's fucking awesome. It's amazing.
Well, what's funny is my little brother had been
I made
doing
sure to sit away from you. I knew you were crying.
I cried.
my little brother had been doing a charity bike ride all day, and he said that the only thing keeping him from going to sleep in the movie was the fact that Dolby has the speakers.
Yeah.
So it's like every time he'd be just about to go to sleep, there'd be like an explosion.
Yeah.
Like, oh!
No, yeah, I get you because that was happening to me. We had our movie, the only tickets that we were able to get were at midnight. Like the movie started at midnight. So I was like, oh my God, I need a coffee or something. But yeah, it kept me awake big time.
Yeah. What's funny is so we went to the snack bar, and I have the AMC membership, and I went with my dad, and my dad's like, I just want a water, and I was like, I get a free popcorn and soda because it's my birthday, and apparently I had a coupon that was already activated on my account, so all in all, I ended up, all I had to pay for snacks was like 49 cents, and my dad was like, okay,
And then
I'm gonna stay with
whispering.
you.
He starts whispering to me, "Oh, I do secretly miss popcorn, but now I gotta eat healthy." I'm like, "Don't fucking cheat yourself. Eat some fucking popcorn."
Nate, are you eating again, Nate?
Yeah, I am. I'm eating chicken.
Leroy Jenkins.
Nate is always eating, bro. Every episode, bro.
It's dinner time and I'm hungry.
So, alrighty. What did you do?
I had a fucking blast this weekend. I was in Atlanta. I went to fucking Shaky Knees, and oh my fucking God, it was amazing, bro. It was fucking amazing. Tame Impala put on a hell of a fucking concert, and then we stood forever to see Capernia, and so Serenity got to see Finn, and then we also saw the girls from Lunar Vacation, Maggie and Grace, and I got a picture with Grace, and I got to hug Grace and Maggie, and it was awesome, and Violet was there too. And then I had a conversation with Mateo and Connor, like it was amazing. And then Tame Impala, like I said, to end the night was just, oh my God, it was mind blowing, like honestly. And then the next day I got to go to the places where they filmed for fucking Stranger Things, bro. Like I was literally at the school. Like I have the picture of me standing right there in the back. It says Hawkins Middle School. Like I was right.
So did the security guard come out and be like, "Ma'am, you can't be taking pictures of us during school
I'm sure
hours"?
they're used to it, but it was like during a day where there was school, so we were like kind of worried. And Serenity was over here trying to open all the doors and stuff, and I'm like, bro, you're gonna get us kicked out for trespassing or something.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Exactly. So we had to keep our cool.
I think you don't mind to see Godzilla too, because the one main gal from Stranger Things is in it.
Okay, her name is.
I don't know her fucking name, but I know you guys do.
It's Millie Bobby.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Gray. Oh.
Gray. You did that on purpose.
I know I did.
That sounds like a rapper name. Bobby.
Jesus is watching you, Nate.
Oh, really?
Nate.
Is he right behind me?
11. The reason I was thinking her name was 13, but it's like, oh, that's Olivia Wilde's character.
Oh no, it's 11. Look, I got it tattooed on me. Can you see?
Nice. Is that a Holocaust branding?
Bro, why would you say that? That's
what it looks like.
Funny, bro. That's not.
Cam thought it was funny.
Jesus is watching you.
Oh, is he right behind me?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? Anyway, so
it was amazing. I had an amazing weekend. That's it.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. Did you take off your little band thing?
Finally, yes, bro.
Okay.
You don't know how good it felt to finally get that shit off my wrist. Like, I had it for like 3 weeks, I think.
Wow.
Oh my God. You could tell I was excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do, Nate?
Well, I went to San Antonio, and that's what I did. I had to drive to San Antonio, and then I worked.
What did that work?
That sounded fun.
It was fun.
I'm glad.
It was fun. I'm glad you think it's glad. Okay, so.
Drive to San Antonio multiple times. We know your pain.
What? San Antonio's a great city.
It's a great city. It's
the drive is a pain.
Even though
yeah.
San Antonio sucks. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
No, seriously, like San Antonio is so hyped up for no reason.
For a good reason, because it deserves to be.
For no reason, Austin. I don't need to be stuck in traffic for 3 hours just to get and eat some chicken and waffles.
Austin
okay?
does suck.
If I wanted chicken and waffles, I would just go to like that place in Arlington that I've been to a couple times.
Why would you go to Austin just for chicken and waffles?
Because they're like, oh, this is special chicken and waffles. It's like, okay, I don't need weed-infused chicken and waffles. I'm overwhelmed by the chicken and the waffles, which are two foods that don't need to be combined, but when they are combined and it's perfect, it's amazing.
Well, aside from food bullshit, I'd just say the music and film scene is not that. It's really overhyped, and when it's very oversaturated.
It's like, we get it. Richard Linklater lives here, and he made
Robert Rodriguez. Oh my God, he used to live here, and he's a douche. He is.
Oh.
I hear
Was he?
I hear at the casting couch. So just wait till some Me Too people pick him out of the hat. I'm waiting.
Oh snap!
Yeah, what did you do, Cam?
What the hell did I do besides I read a bunch of script writing books by my favorite script writers.
Okay, cool.
Like who? Who'd you read?
There's this wonderful script writing book by J. Michael Straczynski, the creator of Sense8 on Netflix and Babylon. He's my go-to script writer when I'm ready to be inspired by. So, hey, we started talking about superhero stuff.
Oh yeah, first we're gonna talk about Endgame.
Yes. Yay!
Endgame. What did we think about Endgame?
Endgame was fucking lit as F, bro. It was lit. I loved it.
What about you? What do you think, Cam and Mare?
I guess I'll let her go first. Let her get
Black Widow deserves better. She deserves better. She's been thrown off and everything, and then she's like, oh, you have a family plan. Oh, I'm gonna throw myself off and so that you can get the soul. Like, why can't you just push?
No, you know what my thing was about that too?
About what?
About Black Widow.
Oh.
I was mad about it too because, like, I was talking to my husband and I was like, why wouldn't they figure that they had to do that before they got there? Like, Nebula knew that you have to sacrifice somebody to get that.
Nebula should have been like, hey, you have to sacrifice somebody. And then they could have done, like, this whole, like, fake out of like, oh.
Yes, exactly.
Push Red Skull.
Fucking exactly.
No,
they did that shit just for drama. Like they just did it for drama. Like Nebula knew.
Actually, I got some things to say about the sacrifice between Black Widow. I think the reason why they did that is to make it like as a contrast between Thanos throwing Nebula off, and so instead of him just like chucking her over, it's like this battle between these two.
Yeah, they did it for the dramatic effect. Yeah.
And then 2, it's supposed to be Black Widow paying back Hawkeye for saving her in the past. So that's what that's supposed to be.
It was a little heavy-handed. All I had to say was I knew plenty of people weren't out of this alive, because if they all came out of it alive, it would be boring as fuck. But at the same time, I think it's a better way to go about all this. Tread the plot carefully.
If they all came out alive, this would have been a boring movie. I said it would have been the most amazing movie ever, because Tony would have finally been able to be a perfect dad to both Morgan and Peter Parker, his not adopted but kind of adopted son and everything. But
well, see, a good story, you got to have some kind of conflict. Like James Bond, everybody else is going to pretty much be dead around him. He's not going to die, but if he's around him, then it's like, okay, so what changed? Just another day at the office.
Yeah. I know that a lot of people believe that Captain America was the one who was going to die, and Iron Man was the one that was just going to retire. So what did you guys think about them reversing it?
He sort of did die in a way. I mean, he literally cheated himself of his entire lifetime by going outside and returning the stones.
Well, no, he got to have himself spend his entire life with Peggy, but of course that means,
so he kind of wins either way.
That means Peggy's kids and are not alive, or at least they have Steve Rogers' influence. That would be an interesting movie. Oh, I'm Peggy Carter and Steve Rogers' granddaughter.
So he either way, but he did cheat himself of all his, superhero fighting times.
Well, it's just like he went back in time, and that's all you did. Like, you are definitely Captain America, because I would have went back in time and I would have fucking made myself rich as fuck in the future.
Yeah, but he is worthy. He is worthy.
Well, that's why I said definitely Captain America.
But no, I was in for the ride the minute they started referencing every single time travel movie. That was the perfect setup for getting us all into this without making our heads explode.
Yeah, I think the reason why they did that was to tell us that it's not. Don't think about it too hard.
Don't think about it too hard. Have fun with it, and at the same time, just this is a blockbuster movie. You're gonna, there's gonna you know what you're in for now.
Okay.
That we've just set this up.
Can I just?
Who is it?
All right, continue. That's what you're gonna say.
I hear a ringing phone. My anxiety right now.
What's wrong with your anxiety?
Under the fucking. Okay.
Okay, it's done. Okay, say what you need to say.
My thing is that I would have preferred for them to have jumped back, after they stole the stones and everything, jump back to 2018. But I can see why Tony was but then I don't know if Morgan would have been born, or if Morgan would have been a boy instead of a girl. So let's just say in 2023, which means basically Spider-Man Far From Home, Peter Parker is going to be walking around just wow, it's been 5 years. I literally took a nap on that alien planet, and I woke up and it's been 5 years later, and I'm they're going to have to explain somehow how May decided, okay, I thought you were dead for 5 years, but now I'm going to let you go to Europe for an entire summer with your class. Months after I lost you.
I agree with that, but I think that was already kind of reflected in Hawkeye's family time, and then Tony spending time with his family, and just his evolution, just realizing, hey, it's time to be a little less selfish and save the galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, that means all of Peter's friends and everybody else in that school had been dusted, and wouldn't you know it, it's there are some kids who are And I wonder if they're gonna make a reference to like how there was like one kid who was like, I was 15 when I got dusted, and now I am the same age as the person I thought my little brother was, and now we're both having to in the same grade and everything, and now we're having to go to Europe together. And I still can't believe my annoying 10-year-old little brother is now 15. What the hell, Thanos?
Wait, what? Whose brother was this?
It's probably gonna be some background character. They're like, yeah, my little brother's on the tour. Apparently, he got dusted. He did it, so you know.
Yeah, but I guess like in No Far From Home, we just have to believe that all the characters were dusted. I guess that's the thing. We just have to accept.
I mean, it's just the scene with Ant-Man talking to the one boy on the tricycle. I mean, that pretty much gave me enough of an idea. It's like, okay, they said 50% of the city. So.
Okay, did anybody else spot the little kid from Iron Man 3 in the funeral?
I didn't realize that until after.
Oh, I did not. However,
I was like, who was this kid? Who is this random kid? And then I realized it later.
I was like, wait, is that Dylan? No, that's not Dylan O'Brien. That's Harley. That was a little kid. I'm going to cry a lot harder now.
Okay, when I first saw this movie, I was having to keep. I wasn't confused at all by the time travel. It made perfect sense, ironically. But what I had to keep up with was, wait, so what scenes are from which movie? Especially because they kind of combined some of Winter's in with Avengers.
Uh-huh.
But what really what threw me off the first time was when Hawkeye was going on his random, hitman spree.
Oh, as Ronin?
In Tokyo.
Yeah, that's when he was Ronin.
Yeah. That's a good point too. I saw this originally with Tony Dodson, who is a big comic book fan, and pointed out, technically, Hawkeye was in Ronin mode. But what threw me off also was the guy who he's fighting played Silver Samurai in the Wolverine.
Maybe it was the same guy. Ah!
The Last Samurai as well as one of the apprentices who gets his ponytail chopped off to trace him.
I really, really like the way that they involve is it Thanos or Thanos? Thanos. That they made him aware of like their entire plan and what they had done or what they were doing.
Well, he needed to come back and be bad guy
again. That they put on that.
They kind of gave us what we wanted at first, which was having him and building up again for us to hate him. But at the same time, they figured, hey, we already had him shoot scenery in, Infinity War. The last thing we need is more Thanos.
Wait, did anybody else have that? Like, we saw it in like a package on the Saturday night and everything. But when it revealed that like during the 5 years since they had fought Thanos, that Thor had gotten like out of shape and fat and was just now like basically alcoholic and played video games. And
he was basically the Big Lebowski. Like that's who he was.
When they did the reveal of like, oh, this is what Thor's body looks now, did your theater do the same like very heavy disappointed sigh that our theater just like collectively did at that time, or was that just our
it was just you, because all I heard was belly aching laughs of people going
that's mine too. Mine was just like yucking it up.
Did anyone ever notice when Rocket Raccoon and Hulk are first going to Thor's Asgard village that there's sparks coming out of the truck that the Hulk's on due to his weight? I that the first time, and it's one of those little Easter eggs, and it's like,
Great.
What?
Maybe it's an important call. Maybe it's your future calling.
It's not my future.
Hey, a DGA member needs you to fill in for him.
I just have to say that scene where like Ant-Man has traveled back in time, like looking at Captain America.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I don't care what anybody says. That is America's ass. I just went like in my mind, I was like, the fact Paul Rudd said that about Chris Evans' butt in context and everything, I was just like, that's like the perfect known to mankind.
I love Paul Rudd. I fucking love Paul Rudd.
Ever like be more perfect than this moment, except after Captain America fought Captain America, knocked out other Captain America, and looked at his butt and said, "That is America's ass." Like, okay, this is it.
Yeah, I love that we got a bunch of Captain America and Iron Man, a lot of Steve and Tony moments, scenes together.
Yeah, that by having everyone have autographs at the end, or done with the franchise for now. That was a cool touch, but it would be ironic if Chris Evans later went on to do workout videos.
They could. They very much well could.
Want to work out like America himself? Have Chris Evans your host.
That would probably be like a scene in like a new
Spider-Man. On DirecTV, channels 133 and 32.
I can totally see that being like a promotional video, like on YouTube. It's like basically, you know how they had him do the PSAs for all the Spider-Man.
PSA, he's been featured on.
Whatever new Spider-Man, like probably not for Far From Home, but like the third Spider-Man movie, it's like they're like, oh, we're working out to Captain America, and it's literally just like Chris Evans and Captain America doing like a 90s style workout video.
Right. He's already been an underrated drama and action star. I mean, he's really heartbreakingly realistic as the drug user in Puncture. He was good in Street Kings and Saving Grace of Fantastic Four, So it really has been cool seeing him evolve as an actor and as an action star.
All right. So what did you guys think about Fat Thor? Do you guys like Fat Thor?
I thought it was really funny that they did that, and I thought it was even more funnier whenever they showed the Fortnite scene. Where the guy's like getting trash talked, and he's like, "Thor, this guy is messing with me again," and all of that, and he gets on the thing.
So that was good because, like, they're all the main guys featured, in the initial fight with Thanos, Iron Man, Thor, and Hulk. Hulk's already gotten used to being in green mode. And then, my bad. Captain America's in that fight. But my same point remains. You have an out-of-shape Thor, you have Tony learning how to not be selfish, and then you have Captain America going against someone still,
Well, I just have to say, I know Chris Hemsworth, like in the past couple of years, has been really trying to be the more comedic actor and everything.
Yeah,
and I could totally...
He doesn't want to be a
I could totally see him going up to the Russo brothers and being like, hear me out, Fat Thor. And everybody's like, yes, perfect. We'll get you a fat suit. He's like,
and how funny.
I could just stick myself into that shape, but I'll do a fat suit anyway because I have to do the Men in Black movie.
Right. How funny how he intends.
So he just like walks around with like the fat suit for like 3 months, whatever, and you get to see everybody on set is just kind of like, oh boy, Chris.
Yeah.
Like they're like, is this how you're gonna your contract's finished and everything? And he's like, yep. And they're all like, well, just don't grow the beard out, because then we're gonna have to. Then you'll probably be cast.
There they are. They're back.
So yeah, I thought it was cool how most of these guys all evolved as characters. They're all out of shape or being stuck up and having to think twice before they do the whole back in time switcheroo.
So what did you guys think about Iron Man resolving his thing with his father?
Oh, I thought that was amazing. I love that they did that because it kind of was another thing to be like, oh, he got to see his dad and hug him and work that out before he died, and like silver lining.
Because
how happy I was to see my Edwin Jarvis on the big screen, and so I was there in the theater, and
she's a big Agent Carter fan.
Yeah, I watched Agent Carter, and it was just one of those. I'm like, oh, Jarvis, it's the Jarvis, and they're all.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Everybody else is like, how do you know that? I have to be there and be like, I just have to be there and be like, oh, he's on 2 seasons of Agent Carter where he shared sexual tension with Agent Carter herself that eventually went nowhere because he's married.
What I like about it is because Iron Man used to view his father as like this malevolent, bad person. But now, as he evolved and he's a father himself, he is able to view him as a human.
Yeah, because his dad told him, he was like, you gotta, like he said, I don't know what that sentence was that he told him. He was just like, I found out that my needs, like basically he wasn't supposed to be selfish because he was supposed to be like trying to save the world.
Don't let the greater good go over your personal interest. That's what it is.
Did he say that?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay. Did we have anything else to say about Endgame?
I mean, if you want to close it off, like from the technical aspects of it, I guess.
Yeah, what's the technical aspects?
I mean, the blocking in the final fight was pretty cool at showing. I mean, good guys are on the left, the bad guys are on the right. The visual effects were fan-fucking-tastic, and
Yeah.
they've been hit and miss for every other blockbuster. Is like, I have troubles here. Wardrobe, obviously good. The music was very epic by Alan Silvestri.
Yeah. Ruby, did you like Black Panther?
Yeah, of course.
Talking about it every day, Nate. You should know this by now.
Really? Why did you like Black Panther? He didn't do anything.
Wakanda forever.
He didn't do that.
Yes, I did.
No, he didn't do it in the movie.
It was funny.
I did it.
Oh,
I did it in the movies.
You did it in the movie?
Half the actors in this movie did not even speak. So I'm sure they look like that, like, hey, I don't gotta do shit. I just gotta come to the office and stand there.
And then get
firemen.
paid my millions.
That's why Chris Pratt posted that. He said that he posted it on Instagram. It's a video of like that scene because he's like, they told us not to do this, but when are we gonna ever have like this many stars in one room? And like he did a whole video of everybody getting ready.
And then Marvel was like, "You're under arrest." Oh.
Nigga's daughter.
It was a good movie. I loved it. I cried during that episode, that scene. The scene was just so beautiful. Whenever they all came out at the end, it was just like.
And then Captain America was like, "Avengers, assemble!"
And Peter's like, yeah!
And he said exactly like that, right, Ruby?
Yeah.
Everybody understood at the assemble part and went, whoa, hell yeah!
Oh my goodness.
It was cool seeing Rocket Raccoon be featured more on the team, you know, seeing how compares to the, you know, working with the Guardians versus working with the other Avengers guys. That was cool seeing him work with Bumpy Rhodes. And I would have, you know, it would have been cool seeing Star-Lord take out the giant ship at the end. I will say they did hype up, you know, Ant-Man 2 and, you know, Captain Marvel's being big on this. It's like they were key, but they had very limited screen time, so it's like, okay.
Ant-Man had a bunch of screen time, and I was
but I'm talking about the machine. You know, like it's part of the plot, but it's only seen on screen like in maybe like 5 different frames.
So, what did you guys think about the lack of Captain Marvel?
The what?
The lack of Captain Marvel.
Oh, the lack of it of her. I think I liked it because I think a lot of people, you know, from the get-go thought that it was going to be, you know, that she was going to be more involved than she really was. Because it's better for her not to be, because then people would be like, this is an Avengers movie, not Captain Marvel movie. You know, like we've already seen her movie. You know, we want to see everybody, and I think people would be upset if they saw her kind of like cutting in, you know, as like taking all of the glory. Because if she was there, I mean, what the fuck does anybody else need to do? I mean,
it was cool having all the female characters fight in that one big scene. That was just a cool, hey, we support you guys. We're feminist friendly.
No, I love that part.
Really?
I fucking
because I hated that part.
Just watching you, Nate.
I would have liked it a whole lot better if they were guys. I am kidding. No! I'm kidding.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, Goose. Where's Goose this entire time?
Goose?
Groot or Goose, the cat? Oh.
You're bringing a apparently has not seen Captain Marvel, and I failed
heard
as a
it was pretty
sister.
lame, so.
It was not lame. It was actually pretty awesome.
I know, but when
I loved it. I love Captain Marvel.
Spider-Man 3.
in recent years, when was there a
That's
movie you
not an MCU movie. I mean, that is an MCU movie.
don't? Okay, well, that's part of the MCU and current DC universe. I guarantee you, you're gonna like all of those. Anyway, yeah, they gave everyone a lot to do, so I guess should we move on to the best superhero movie
Yeah.
never?
All right, I'll.
Oh, we were going to do comics.
No, comic book movies is the same thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's the freaking same thing, so we can do that. All right.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk about the comic that I had in mind because that's what I prepared with.
No, that's fine. We can do that. It's the same thing pretty much. Because superheroes and comics are the same. They're symbiotic.
You go.
So I'm gonna start off with the film that it's one of the films that you just have to talk about in terms of comic book films, and it was Christopher Nolan's 2008 masterpiece, The Dark Warrior person.
Dark Warrior person.
Yes.
Sounds like some terrible movie that airs at HBO at 3
I know, but this isn't that, because other people call it The Dark Knight.
Oh.
You didn't like The Dark Knight?
Batman.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Oh, we got some hater right here on the Batman.
Because if those of you who don't know, it is based from the characters by one Bob Kane, and it is about when a menace known as the Joker, played by the late Heath Ledger, emerges from his mysterious past. He wreaks havoc and chaos to the people of Gotham. The Dark Knight, played by Christian Bale, must accept one of his greatest psychological and physical tests of his ability to fight injustice. So, one of the biggest things to take away from this film that a lot of people like to talk about would be Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker, which actually won him an Oscar, too, which he tragically wasn't able to receive because he passed away before he could receive it.
Break.
Yeah, so what did you guys think about that particular performance and that interpretation of the character?
Better than Jared Leto's performance.
You don't like?
I love.
But did you like Jared Leto's performance as Joker?
No, I just love him. Of course, Heath Ledger's all-time favorite Joker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because.
But let's not forget Mark Hamill and Jack Nicholson and all the other people who.
I know, but we're talking about like.
But as Heath Ledger, I've loved him in so many other movies. I think this is one of his best ones, but I really get pissed off when I see so many people saying, like, this is the first thing they saw him in, and so that's all they talk about. It's like, come on.
I know, like, I love 10 Things I Hate About You.
I watch Brokeback Mountain all the time. I watch it on repeat all the time.
He's saying he watched Brokeback Mountain all the time. Okay, I have to say this about Brokeback Mountain. That came out when I was in middle school.
They broke their backs all right, that is for sure.
Exactly.
It's a good movie. It really is. It's very emotional. It's going to depress the fuck out of you, and then at the same time, it's like, but hey, it had a good heart.
Yeah. Hey, Ruby.
We're getting off track.
Hey, Ruby.
What?
I wish I could quit you. Okay, so one of the biggest things about the Joker in this particular film was that his biggest MO, his motivation, is to prove to Gotham that even the best people and the most purest of people can be corrupt. And that's what he tried to do with Dent, who was played by Aaron Eckhart, causing him to spiral into his character of Two-Face. So, do you guys agree with that? That even the most purest of hearts can become corrupted?
Absolutely. Even the Dalai Lama kicked someone's ass before he was beloved. It's just everybody has gone to some dark moment, whether it was just one day versus 5 years. So it is a cool dilemma, and it sets the movie up for Harvey Dent's defense.
Yeah.
Two-Face.
We are imperfect. We are all imperfect human beings.
Well, and going on to the movie's overall aspect, I think it works better in the 7, Silence of the Lambs moments versus the Heat and Die Hard moments,
Yeah, and I remember at the end when Two-Face was killed, Batman really wanted to preserve his former identity as being like the hero of Gotham. So much so that he pinned that he had Gordon pin all the murders that Two-Face did on him, on Batman, so that his identity can still remain pure in the eyes of Gotham. So do you guys think that lying like that lying in that way is beneficial to everyone?
I don't know.
It was on paper, but then they kind of undo it in Rises, and I was like, God damn it! So what the hell happened? Everyone just forgot about all that stuff pinned on Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have liked for Rises to be like, oh yeah, for the past like 7 years, Batman has been going out and Batman kills people, but he's still like good, and like for the city to still kind of be like, I mean, I guess he's good because he stopped all these bad villains, but at the same time he kills people, so maybe he's not all that good. Instead of, Batman disappeared after killing all these people, and Bruce Wayne has been moping around in a mansion, Howard Hughes style, for 7 years. They're not connected in any way. I thought at least one person would have been like, pretty sure these two are connected in some way, and he's just hiding out because he's Prince of Gotham.
Heart-free, instead of having Bane as the Darth Vader of the DC franchise, should have just had Scarecrow come back instead of all the underground nuke and other bullshit. But so I just say, watch Begins, watch. Stop it there.
Yeah. So, Ruby, what do you think about the whole idea of lying in order to preserve an identity, in order to preserve like a hope for the city?
I don't know why they fucking would care what the people thought, to be honest. Like, that nigga dead. Like,
it was a cool thing on paper, but the execution does kind of nowhere.
Okay. So, yeah, and another thing that the Joker wanted to do was that he wanted to have Batman break his rule to kill people, which I guess he technically kind of did-ish, not really. But, yeah, there's that.
It's always kind of silly because Batman, 4 movies ago was killing a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah. Ben Affleck's interpretation of the character, where he just like straight up mows down people with an AK, starts branding them.
Yeah, he's definitely not knocking anyone out in that bat suit, and Steve has.
All right, so that's it for The Dark Knight. What final thoughts? What do you guys think?
I like it. I love that movie simply because of the Joker alone. I mean, but Christian Bale's interpretation is one of my Batmans I could watch. So I like.
Yeah, because
I like the story.
Yeah, this film has been regarded as the film that elevated comic book movies into higher art. And also another thing about this film is that it also is kind of like a take on post 9/11 America. Also,
yeah, they use the term terrorist a few years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, it's like that whole idea of being afraid of outside people and all that kind of stuff.
Potential disasters. I mean, just the scene with the cruise liners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Press the button on the explosives, a big test of will.
Like him and Joker blowing up the hospital, also.
And the fact that was an actual hospital they were demolishing and they had to work.
Yeah, and that whole thing was improvised, which is considered to be one of the best improvised scenes ever.
Can I just say that, like, I didn't like the subplot where basically Bruce felt like Bruce was trying to win over Rachel Dawes again. Like, they kind of closed the book for their romance, like, at the end of Batman Begins, where she tells him that I love you, Bruce, but as long as you're basically Batman, I can't be with you. I would rather you just be Bruce. And then it's like a year later, and he's like crashing her dinner with Harvey Dent and being like, "Oh, I'm totally, not Batman or anything." And then he goes and he's Batman, and then it's like he spends like then it pulls him into the Joker and everything. I honestly, what I I think The Dark Knight is still a good movie, but I would have just preferred for like that subplot to be
eliminated.
Like basically, I thought Rachel was a weak character to begin with. I'm sorry, but that kind of sounds mean. But at the same time, I would have just like preferred, that entire subplot of, oh, well, she's connected to Harvey, and her death is going to be the motivator for Harvey to, be turned. And it's like, no, Harvey's motivator in the comics was the fact that his face was melted off with acid, half his face, and that sent this perfect district attorney into a spiral and everything. Yeah. That's what I would have just preferred. And there'd be like a throwaway line of, oh, Rachel moved over to Washington and she's a federal prosecutor now or something like that. Instead of like, oh, Bruce, I love you, but at the same time you're Batman, so I can't love you.
Yeah, they're just trying to make it more relatable. Like that's how they're to do.
So what did you think about?
The guest should go next on the on her.
Okay.
On her.
All right, your turn.
Of all time.
Favorite comic, whatever.
Or the first Iron Man, maybe even Batman 1989.
No.
Avengers 1. That was your 5 out of 5 star back in the day when it first came out.
Yeah. Honestly, I think one of my favorites, probably my top one that I've at least seen over and over again, is probably Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I don't know what is it. I really love the way they set her up and everything, and
they have good costume design in this movie.
Yeah, but also for me is when she's in the No Man's Land sequence. She just like takes off and she just boom, boom, and you realize for her that's like the first time that she's like in battle in the man's world, but at the same time it's like it's the first time that both sides have seen like and it's no longer just no man, it's like in Thailand, you say.
First part of this movie kind of takes ancient warrior must fulfill a long, elongated prophecy, and then the last part is basically DC's, version of the first Captain America, only with Wonder Woman being the savior of the team versus Captain America.
No, if it was DC's version of the first Avenger, she would have been going on a USO tour or something like that.
Well, I'm just saying because, they go to World War II and she's helping out all these Allied soldiers.
No, they were in World War I.
My point remains, they're fighting a world war and she's helping all these soldiers.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Who's next?
Ruby, what's your top superhero movie of all time?
Or comic book movie. Or comic book.
Oh, yeah. I can't see the best superhero movie. Like, don't make me do that. But I can tell you that my favorite superhero has always been Superman. That's my favorite, even though he's DC or whatever.
I like how he just straight up kills Zod, snaps his neck and kicks him to the ground.
I like both parts of the original Superman movie, but Superman has just been interesting because whether you like it or hate him, he's been probably the most referenced superhero in every movie, even in other superhero movies with the whole.
Mm-hmm.
You see his mentality in the Wolverine movies, even America to some extent, and who the fuck would not fly everywhere and be a badass?
Exactly. But so that's what I would choose as my favorite superhero. But I had prepared comics because I thought we were going to do comics, and I was like, well, that's going to be easy because I've only ever read one fucking comic book in my life. I've skimmed through some comics, but I've never been interested in reading comics. I love books. I love reading books, but not comic books. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up a comic book and started reading the collection. It was a small collection. It was 1 through 4, and I got all of them. And I got all the covers for all of them because they are the Stranger Things comics
Get
that just
out of here.
So,
Dark Horse comics.
What's your favorite
And
video game, Ruby? Is it the Stranger Things video game?
it might be, and it's probably D&D because that's what they play on Stranger Things.
Ah.
Anyways, the comic books I love because they give more. They give you so much more than what you see in the show. So it starts off this collection 1 through 4, and it starts with the actual. It's in correlation with the first season of Stranger Things, but it gives you more in depth things that happen. Like you get to see Will in the actual Upside Down, like what he was doing. What was going on there that whole time, how he got to communicate with his mom, via the phone or whatever, whenever she would get those random phone calls. We see dialogue of him, like him thinking of another time where he was playing D&D with the guys, and there's dialogue there with all of them together playing again, and you're like, oh my God, it's like seeing something new again, Stranger Things. So it was awesome. It explained a lot, and that's why I love it, and I can't wait for the second round because now they're going to say something about, they're going to introduce another number. They're going to introduce number 6. So I'm excited about that.
Really?
So,
what's your favorite movie, Ruby? Is it the movie edit of Stranger Things that hasn't been made yet because only fans get access to it?
I'd say my favorite comic book movie of all time. Well, not all time. For those episodes, probably Doctor Strange. I think that's the standalone Marvel movie for the most part. I like it. You're not a fan. I think it's a fun mashup of magic as well as very distorted fantasy. Kind of similar to Bruce Wayne. He's a very established man. Decides, hey, I'm gonna be a little less selfish and use my powers to perfect this.
Yeah.
Open up these realms and fight all these other.
Yeah, what did you guys think about Marvel becoming more magical and less scientific in that film?
Still kind of is.
I think it was more magical. I didn't think it was more magical. They were like really scientific when it came with the time. Like,
no, well, that's just more like those are her abilities that she's being experimented on. I did like how when she was introduced, they didn't have the rights to the X-Men yet, so they said, "This is the age of," looks down at Palm, miracles. And every person who ever even looked at a Wikipedia page is kind of like,
we know what you're talking about.
But okay.
yeah.
In a better world, the X-Men would have been in this movie, but that's not what we have at the moment. So
that's what people were saying at work. They were like, man, I would have loved to have seen some X-Men get in there. And I'm like, yeah, that would have been fucking awesome.
We're going to have to wait another decade at least for that to happen.
Pretty much. I mean,
probably more like 2022. I heard somewhere that because they bought it and everything, they're like trying to, and Far From Home has already introduced the idea of a multiverse. So
there's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a multiverse where Black Widow is alive and Captain America is young again and Iron Man's alive. I really hope they don't.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't do that because that would undo everything that Endgame did.
I love how they did Hulk. We didn't talk about that. Did you like how he got together with Banner, like the Hulk and Banner?
I liked Hulk as a separate person. I like that whole inner conflict, but I guess that's done. I don't know. I like the other thing.
I like this thing.
Why? Because it's goofy.
No, because it's like embracing your inner, demon and making it something good, turning it into something good, not repressing it.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite comic book movie that was talked about, was in development hell for years, but never got made?
Which one?
Spider-Man 4.
That's true. They did talk about it for a while.
Yeah.
I think was still going to be attached, but they were looking for a new director.
Yeah, with Maguire, and I think they were going to have Malkovich as the Vulture and Anne Hathaway as Black Cat. I think that's it.
Yeah, well, I remember, like, when I heard the news that he had left Spider-Man 4, I just remember, like, thinking to myself, like, oh, this is still a thing?
Yeah.
It's just been so long since the last one and I hadn't heard any developments that I was just like, oh, it's one of those that have been in the back of my mind, but I didn't realize. But then, like, 2 days later, they're like, oh, we have a script for a reboot, and we're gonna put it out. And so I'm like, oh, quite fast. And I guess that shows that they didn't have enough faith in or moving forward, that they were like, okay, well, we got to have all these backup plans just like ready to go just in case.
Well, and I have nothing against Holland or even Garfield, who both did a decent job each, in my opinion, as Parker. But I would have liked to have even seen Maguire as Spidey during the initial Avengers universe, because I mean, Spider-Man really did launch comic book movies by that point, especially by Marvel. They were already having surprise hits with Blade and X-Men, but it was like Spider-Man was on board.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up, guys. We gotta wrap it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I want to get a picture of us right quick. So can everybody get in the shot? Because I'm going to get a still.
Okay.
Everybody do a funny pose. Okay, got it.
All right, so.
And thank you so much for being a guest on our show. We really appreciate having you here.
No way she could
Anytime you want to come back.
We'll have to think about it very hard. So
you can choose the next theme if you want to come back.
Yeah. Cool.
So next week, can we do mystery documentaries? That would be awesome.
Well, I was actually gonna ask y'all if y'all wanted to do. Remember, I told y'all about that girl Jacqueline.
Yeah.
That girl Jacqueline. So, do y'all want to do next week on a Wednesday morning or a Friday morning?
Oh yeah. And she said she wanted to do horror. Did she tell what subgenre of horror?
No, she didn't say that. Remember, Sonia said that she would want to. I have to ask her. I had already kind of asked her, but I wanted to confirm what day so I could tell her so that we have time. She has time to prepare.
Yeah, next Wednesday. Yeah.
Do you want to do Wednesday or Friday in the morning, Cam? Can't hear you.
Be more ideal because I just wouldn't have any interruptions.
Which day?
What day?
Friday.
Friday?
Okay.
So Friday in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. 10.
And Jackie will choose the topic.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
I'm going to let her know as soon as she tells me.
All right, sounds good. All right, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.